everyone, welcome to today's video. This one is super exciting because I am showing you how to make this cute little card set using the Sheltering Tree stamp set. This is probably my favorite stamp set. Actually, I feel like I say that about everything, but I really do love this stamp set. This card set, if that's what you want to call it. Sorry, these are all in plastic because I have them packaged up and ready to go to give as a set to somebody. I don't know how to get these all in frame right now, but this little card set is my absolute favorite because it's simple, but you can use it for so many different things, and it's an easy gift to give to somebody. So we're gonna be doing this today. Woo! But like I was saying, I love this stamp set. I don't know, again, we don't know any of the stamp sets that are going to be retiring yet when the new annual catalog comes out. But when items do go on the retire list, they're going to sell out really fast. So if you decide that you like this stamp set, I would pick it up now, because as soon as this stamp, if this one does, again, I don't know for sure. I have no clue. I don't know anything about what's going on the retire list. But if this stamp set does go on that list, I can guarantee you it's going to sell out fast. So if you like this one, pick it up now, because you're going to have to jump on it if it does end up being retired. I feel like they probably wouldn't, because it is so popular and so many people do love it, but I don't know how they pick which items get retired and which items don't. And this will be my first year as a demonstrator during the time that Stampin' Up! Retires products. So I don't have any basis to say, well, last year all of the products that everybody loved ended up staying. I don't really know, because I have not experienced it firsthand yet. So this will be my first time. But anyways, if you love this stamp set, please, please, please jump on it, because it's one of my favorites and I think you will love it. So for this video, I'm going to do my little introduction a little bit differently, because there are so many different ink pads that we're going to be using for these cards. I have everything. You should see the area to this way, to my left. I have so many ink pads over here because this card set does require a lot of ink pads. Now, of course, you can just take one of these cards. So like, let's say you really like the winter snowy one. You can take just this card and make this card over and over again. Or you can do all four of them in the set for the seasons and have a little set in a little group. So that's what I'm going to be showing you guys today. So this video, I'm going to try and not make it super long. All of the cards are essentially the same. You just are going to be using different colors. So let's go ahead and jump in. Okay, so before we jump into each individual card, I wanted to give you a little tip on how you can make the whole set a little bit easier. So there's one thing that's really the same across the board, and that's going to be the tree trunk. I'm going to be using chocolate chip for every tree trunk for all four of the cards. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp all four of these right off the bat, so I have that, and I don't have to keep kind of going back to it. So what we're going to be using today for our card layer is a piece of Whisper White that's cut out 4x5. Sorry if you can hear my dogs running around. I don't know what their deal is. They're running around being crazy. But anyways, we're going to be using a piece of Whisper White that is 4x5. It's a little bit of a different size, but I like it, especially, I've gotten into it recently when I just have one layer and I'm not doing multiple layers on top of a card, because it gives a little bit of interest. You can see the color behind the piece a little bit better, and I think it just adds a little something different. So that's the size we're going to be using. Again, just regular plain Whisper White, and we're going to be using chocolate chip for our tree trunk. The other thing that I wanted to mention is you are going to need a larger block for this. So this is the E block. You're going to need a larger block. This is the one that I recommend. It'll fit all of the larger stamps that you need for this. So I recommend just picking up this block. And then if you have some smaller blocks that you can use for the other stuff, perfect. If you don't, you can just use this one block for the entire card and all of the cards in the set. So again, we're going to be using chocolate chip. And it's simple. You just stamp down the tree trunk. I'm going to do it about in the center of the card. as in the center as you can get it, really. Just like that. Mine's off to the side a little bit, but it's not a big deal. So I'm just going to do all of that. The only one that is going to be different, which I will do right now, let me just wipe off this. The only one that's going to be different is the winter card. We're going to, because I want a little bit of a lighter look because it's in winter and we want that kind of like snowy look to our card, I'm going to stamp it off very lightly once on a piece of paper and then stamp my trunk down onto my card base. And you can see it's just lighter than the regular, or than the normal one. You can see I didn't press down hard enough, but that's going to be covered up pretty much anyway, so it won't be a big deal. But you can see it's a little bit lighter than this one. So we're going to get that a little bit lighter look. So I'm going to stamp my other two and then we'll jump into creating the actual cards. Okay, so we're going to start off by making the summer card, or the green card, whichever you want to call it. And we're going to go ahead and start with this one. And for all of these, I'm going to start off by just telling you what stamps you, with what color inks you need and the supplies that you need for each. They're all pretty much the same. The colors just vary from each card. So to start off, we're obviously going to need our piece of Whisper White cut at 4x5. We've already stamped our trunk on it using chocolate chip. And so you're going to need that. You're also going to need a piece of Cucumber Crush cut at 8.5 by 5.5. So those are the two pieces of cardstock that you're going to need. And then for ink pads, we're going to be using, I'm going to set that off to the side, we're going to be using 3 shades of green and 2 shades of brown. So we already used chocolate chip, we're going to be using this again, and we're also going to be using early espresso. For green, we're going to be using Pear Pizzazz, Cucumber Crush, and Wild Wasabi. And all of the information for each of these cards will be linked in the description, or it'll be in the coordinating blog post, which will be linked in the description for this video. So everything will be there. These are the colors that we're going to be using. So let's go ahead and jump in. Okay, so to start off, we're going to start by filling in our tree. So in the stamp set, you get this big tree guy. Let me just take it out. There we go. I'm going to grab my E-block again and just mount this up on there. And we're going to start off by doing this, and we're going to use Cucumber Crush. So all I'm going to do is take this and ink up my ink up my stamp in Cucumber Crush. And I'm just going to try and eyeball where I think would be center and just stamp down. It's as simple as that. If it's not perfect, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to clean this off really fast because we're going to have to use this guy. Ooh, I'm knocking stuff around over here. We're going to have to use this guy 3 other times. So I'm just going to clean him off and let him sit over there. So then we are done with our Cucumber Crush. Next, you also get this little guy. And he is just 6 of the little leafy guys. And I'm going to put him on my little tiny block over here. And this is where we're going to come in with our other colors. So I'm going to start by using Wild Wasabi because it's our next, it's the darkest color between the 2 that we have left. And you really just want to use this to add some interest to your card. If you think maybe you laid this down a little wonky, you can use it to kind of fill in. I basically take it and just put it all over the place because what you're doing is you're adding that texture and that color to your card. Now you want to try and not do what I'm doing and get the ink all over the block because you can see I got a little smudge right there. It happens. You know, if you have a smaller block, I would say probably go ahead and use it. I just don't have a smaller block handy right now. So I think one thing that I am going to do, I was going to try and clean it, but I won't. I'm going to move this up to the corner just like that so that I don't run the risk as much of getting ink all over. And if you can see, we basically just took a flat color and kind of gave it some more dimension. So I'm going to go ahead and wash this guy off really quick. Just like that. And we're going to put our wild wasabi to the side just for a second. I'm going to take my Pear Pizzazz and just add a little bit with the Pear Pizzazz. Again, to give it some more color, some more depth, some more everything. And don't forget to do some in the middle. You don't want all of the color variation to just be on the outside. You want it to be everywhere. So you want to make sure you do some in the middle too. Just like that. Okay, so we're done with our Pear Pizzazz. And that's our tree, guys. It's as simple as that. I got some smudges, but that's okay. Again, you know, I say this all the time. It makes it look handmade. I'm also kind of rushing through it because I have 3 others and I don't want you guys to have a super long video. So that's what we're going to be doing. Anyways, now we're going to, where did my, oh, there it is. Next, we're going to grab what I call our swoosh, for a lack of a better term, and I'm going to put it on my block. And for this, we're going to be using wild wasabi. We're just going to take this and ink this guy up. Just like that. And we're going to put it on our tree trunk. We're going to layer it just a little bit over. You can probably see how much I'm doing. Not a ton, but just a little bit over our tree trunk. Give it a nice little washy wash. And that's it for our wild wasabi. So next we're going to be adding our little embellishment, if that's what you want to call him, or our little extra. Every card has one of these little extra guys. And for this one, we're going to be using the bike. So there's actually 2 pieces to the bike, so don't forget that. For the bike, we're going to be using our early espresso. And I'm just going to ink it up. I'm going to put our little bike over to the side here on the next to the tree. And I'm going to clean him off because I'm going to reuse this block. And we're going to take the other part of the bike, and I always have to remember which way this goes. It goes this way. So your triangles go on the bottom. So the line piece right there, it connects the seat to the rest of the bike. So if you remember that, it should make it pretty easy to line up. No, I don't think I did that correctly. I didn't. I messed up. Well, I'm just going to leave it for now. Let's see what happens if I try. I lied. It doesn't. It connects the handlebar to... It just looks crazy. Okay. Pretend like I didn't mess that one up, guys. We'll pretend. I'll probably cut out a little bike and put it on top of that and do it that way instead. Dang it. Messed up on the first one. Well, listen. It's all about overcoming the obstacles. And now I just dropped my ink pad. Wow, I am not having a great day right now. Okay, so let me clean this up. That is one good thing about having an acrylic desk, is that if you drop an ink pad or spill something, it cleans up really nicely. Okay, so putting that away, cleaning up myself, because now I'm a hot mess. Okay, we're almost done with this one, guys. I am going to now just stamp our sentiment. For this one, we're going to be using the Friendship is a Sheltering Tree sentiment. Just like that. And for our sentiment, we're going to be using chocolate chip. just inked that up. And this one almost doesn't want to fit, so you just have to finagle it a little bit, and then that's it. So we have one down. I'm going to go ahead and just show you. They're pretty simple to assemble. We're just going to take our piece of cardstock and I need my bone folder. Take our piece of cardstock. Again, this is Cucumber Crush. We're going to take our piece and put some dimensionals on. I'm going to use 5 just because it's just one layer. We don't have anything really on top of it other than our stamped images. Move that off to the side. And then we're just going to line that up and stick it down, and there you go. There is our first card. So this, again, I refer to this one as a summer card, but you could refer to it as the green card or whatever, and you can't super tell that I messed up the bike, so that's good, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into the next one. Okay, so next we're going to do the winter card, or the blue card, again, however you want to refer to it. For this one, we're going to be using Soft Sky, Pool Party, Smoky Slate, and Chocolate Chip as our inks. Again, you're going to use the piece of Whisper White that you already stamped. You want to use the one that you stamped off first and then the trunk, so that the trunk is the one that the trunk is a little bit lighter. And then for our card base, we're going to be using Soft Sky. So, this one, again, sorry, I'm throwing these ink pads around. This one is pretty similar to our last one. We're going to start off by stamping our large leaf image. And we're going to be using Soft Sky for this. So Soft Sky is a really light color. So you get a nice kind of, oh, I don't know what you even want to call it. You get a nice just kind of background color really with this. And we're going to stamp it kind of in the middle. Try and kind of do it in the middle. There you go. See, it's not an overwhelming color, is kind of what I was trying to say. Okay. So we're going to set this off to the side. Then I'm going to grab Pool Party. And for our little tiny stamp, we're going to stamp Pool Party all over. Let me just move this because it's a little bit easier for me to do it this way. And again, you're doing this to give your card some interest, some depth. So you don't have the same color all over the card or the tree. You want, because trees in real life, they're not all the same color, all the leaves. All of the leaves are different colors, different shades, different shapes, all that kind of stuff. So that is it. We're done with that one. And I'm actually going to leave this out because next we are going to do our little swoosh. Again, me with that word, I know. And we're going to be doing our little swoosh in Pool Party. And just line it up again, overlap the tree trunk just a smidge, just like that. Stamps going crazy over here. And now what we're going to do, this one's super fun. If I can get this off. Like I said in the last one, every card has an extra element, something that kind of makes it special. And for this one, so I'm going to put Pool Party away because we don't need that anymore. For this one, we're going to add snow because it's a winter card. So all over, so I kind of start from the bottom and work my way up. And don't forget that you got to get all the little inside pieces because if not, it just won't look the same. But you just kind of go around and fill in everything with this awesome snow one. And it's really simple and easy. It doesn't take a long time, although it looks like it might take a long time. It really doesn't. Awesome, just like that. Okay, so we're done with that stamp set, and now we're done with Smoky Slate. So you can put, whoa, I almost just dropped it off the edge. Whoa, guys, whoa. We're going to be using chocolate chip again for our sentiment. And for this one, we're going to be using the You Warm My Heart sentiment. So I'm just going to take this one, put this one down, stamper, there you go. Put this away before I drop it. Take our card base, do this. Where's my bone folder? Oh, there it is. Keep losing this thing. Flip it over, use 5 dimensionals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And just line it up. I think that's too much. Okay, and there you go. Card number 2, done. Okay, so for the last 2 cards, I'm going to go ahead and just speed up the footage since the steps are exactly the same as the previous 2 cards. We're just using a different color palette. So before I do that, I wanted to run through really quickly what you're going to need for each of the cards so that you can make them yourself. I'm going to kind of speed through this. So everything that you need is going to be listed on my coordinating blog post. It's the first link in the description box below. So you head over there and I will have full details of everything that you need to make this card. But for the pink one, or I've referred to it as the spring card, we're going to be using Blushing Bride as our card base. Of course, we're going to be using the Whisper White with the tree trunk done in chocolate chip. For our ink pads, we're going to be using Blushing Bride for the large leaf stamp. Then for the fill-in with the smaller leaf stamp, we're going to be using Watermelon Wonder and Pink Pirouette. For our little swoosh, we're going to be using Pink Pirouette. This card gets the little swing, and we're going to be using chocolate chip for the swing. And this one also gets the Thinking of You sentiment, and we're also going to be using chocolate chip. Okay, so I know it's hard to get all of these in here, and this one has more ink pads than the others do. But this is the fall card, or the yellow-red card, if that's how you want to refer to it. For the card base, we're going to be using Delightful Dijon. Again, you're going to use your Whisper White with your tree stamped on it. For the ink pads, for the large leaf stamp, we're going to use Daffodil Delight. For the smaller fill-in, we're going to use Pumpkin Pie and Real Red. For our little swoosh, we're also going to use Daffodil Delight. This card gets the little rake as the little add-in, and for that we're going to use Delightful Dijon. And then for the sentiment, this one gets the Thankful for You sentiment, and again we're going to use chocolate chip. So I'm going to speed through making the next 2 cards. I'll show you the footage, it's just going to be sped up with some music. So I won't be walking you through it step by step. But again, it's the exact same steps as the previous 2 cards. You're just going to be using different colors. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into making the fall card. And then I'll jump right into making the spring card. And I will come back once all 4 cards are complete. free stamp set. Again, I package these up and give them to friends, family members, because it's once you kind of get in the groove of doing it and you have all of your ink pads laid out, they go super, super quick. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I mean, yeah, I made a couple of mistakes here and there, but they still look awesome and they look handmade, and I think whoever you give them to really would appreciate them 100 times over. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, seeing a little bit something different, how you can kind of make a whole card set instead of just one individual card. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I do know that there's a lot of product in this video and that I kind of went through it quickly because we are making 4 cards. So please, the first link in the description box below is the link to the coordinating blog post for this. Head over there and it'll have all of the information that you need, all the product, all the steps, all of that kind of stuff. Everything that you need will be over on my coordinating blog post. So definitely check that out if you want some additional information or need just kind of a refresher or a shopping list. That's also over there. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Bye!